Warning: the following content was produced from an exotical perspective and may cause irritation and feelings of triggerness in individuals with closed minds, hating as monitoring spirits, inferiority complexes, or hotep tendencies. RDBG is not responsible for any emotional dysregulation or crash outs that may occur as a result of watching this video. Viewer discretion advised. Hey y'all. So I wanted to come on quickly and wish the Exoticals a happy MLS History Month. Shout out to the many fearless MLS people, pioneers, thought leaders, artists, entertainers, and trendsetters who have shaped history, whether that be inside or outside of the Black community, and have changed the world for the better. And shout out to those who will someday. I know a lot of us get black or blacker washed in a historical context, and even if we do identify with our blackness, unlike unambiguous Black people, we often have to defend our position in a community that will ostracize us while accepting credit in the benefits of our greatness. I've seen people downplaying historical figures like Angela Davis's role in the Black Panthers because she's MLS, as if Huey P. Newton wasn't light skinned. I've personally thought that Nat Turner was dark skinned for the longest because he was just portrayed as so, until I read like this old excerpt where a white man described him as quote unquote bright but not mulatto. Okay, so the whole time he was a light skinned monoracial. Shout out to MGMs like Lena Horne, who accepted abuse from the Black community for simply being a working actress while standing up for them and trying to make room for unambiguous Black people in Hollywood and make sure they got the corrective promotion they felt like they deserve. Oh, I know y'all didn't think that shit that they're doing to Amandla and Zendaya was new. They've been doing this for centuries at this point. Speaking of Amandla Stenberg, let me speak on the drama surrounding her new role in that movie, Children of Blood and Bones, I believe that's what the name is. It's utterly ridiculous in my opinion. So you got a whole cast of unambiguous Black people, and you mean to tell me that one light skin is the only reason these people are talking about the movie? They're claiming that Amandla Stenberg is colorist for doing her job and planning to boycott and fuck up the bag for a majority dark-skinned cast because a light-skinned person is casted as a quote-unquote not that light-skinned person who faces prejudice from her lighter-skinned family members. Meanwhile, they don't have shit to say when unambiguous people portray actual MLS women, not fictional characters, Exhibit A, Hidden Figures, and so many more. That's the opposite of corrective promo for MLS people, and I'm not sure what that's called, but I'll probably make a term up for it at some point because I've been seeing this a lot. Probably identity snatching. That sounds about right. Whole time, what's this girl's name? Isn't she in need of corrective promotion and support? But instead, they decide to be upset that a golden person is portraying someone who is described as copper, as if Amandla can't bronze her skin like most MLS people. And I still don't see the problem in general. To my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, I've never heard of this series before now. Amari, who's described as a dark copper tone, experienced this colorism from her lighter skinned family, but she's still lighter than Zelly. I don't know if that's how the author intends for that to be pronounced, but Zelly is a member of the oppressed group and is described as a dark brown tone with striking white hair. I'm missing how this casting is inaccurate outside of Idris, the guy that's casted as the dad or the king, and Regina King being too dark to align with the premise of this book. Based on what I saw, the ruling class is implied to look like people with significant admixture, which means Amari should be quote unquote not that light skinned, and her family is most definitely light skinned. And according to the unambiguous community's ever-changing standards for what light skin is, Amandla is indeed considered not that light skin. She's around the same tone as the Mufasa dude, who also has been claimed is not that light skin. Yeah, right. They can never keep their fucking story straight. That's why no one takes them seriously. So it seems like the most inaccurate casting is actually the casting of the unambiguous people as the ruling class, because they should be lighter than Amandla, especially since they're supposed to be colorist toward her character, Amari. And if the author is fine with this casting, I don't understand what the problem is, because clearly she thinks that the casting helps the storyline. But I think their real issue here is the fact that a lighter skinned person will be experiencing some form of discrimination and suffering that they've monopolized in their heads and have limited to darker, deeper brown tones. But y'all do know lighter skinned people can experience colorism, right? The stipulation for colorism is that you be darker than the offending colorist, not dark skinned. That's why someone in my comments said creators like Rashida Strober specify discrimination towards dark skin as darkism, not colorism. But since Blackistan likes to play dumb, like prejudice is a one-way street, let's just keep calling it color discrimination when darker brown bigots go out of their way to lower light-skinned black people publicly to compensate for their own internalized isms. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's just keep calling it color discrimination just for the sake of not arguing about it. So it seems to me that the fake outrage is really about the fact that this movie may possibly highlight the less emphasized MLS side of the quote-unquote shadism war. Why are unambiguous black people still trying to play the pity privilege card and pretend dark-skinned black people aren't also bigots? We absolutely should be shining a light on the fact that someone lighter can experience discrimination due to color, especially as they continue to create more exoticals. Highlighting this is imperative when the unambiguous black community will sit up all day and validating our experience and talking about who's not light-skinned enough and why you're not light-skinned enough, why light skin isn't pretty or desirable, and who's wasted yellow and other negative propaganda. Like, I honestly don't know why black people are sitting up here playing dumb about the prejudice and discrimination that MLS people experience at this point. Even if the story is going to be everyone darker and one light skin, y'all know good and damn well that the odd one out is usually bullied, even if the odd one out is light skin. So calm down. What really got me was how many Nigerian Americans and Native Africans were upset with this Nigerian American author and all over the internet talking about protesting, when you'll also see them all over the internet emphasizing that there are organically light-skinned motherfuckers in Africa. Just to be up in arms when one light-skinned motherfucker gets casted as an African. Like, are there not MLS people in Africa who are super outnumbered in some places and probably experience discrimination, particularly in places like Nigeria? I'm sure. So that fake ass outrage isn't about quote unquote Amandla erasing black women, because one light skinned biracial motherfucker can't erase a whole fucking cast. They're just being hateful as always, and they don't want to be portrayed as the big as they really are on the big screen, especially if it's toward a light skin. They don't mind if you see them abusing each other. Also, I linked a Reddit page in the description of this video with a list of shows and movies where dark-skinned women are represented, if not the main character. And especially the unambiguous black people who are watching this video, I hope y'all go support and shut the fuck up, because honestly, asking MLS people to stop eating while Blackistan deliberately starves unambiguous artists, entertainers, and public figures just from a sheer lack of support is insane. Like, all you have to do is shift your attention to them. It's that easy. Well, they'll support unambiguous black people once those black people get the attention of the same Hollywood they claim they hate so much. The shit literally makes me sick to my stomach. And it's pretty obvious that they want us to pretend we don't exist because they want to pretend we don't exist as MLS people. They literally only want to talk about the diversity of blackness if they think it can uplift the unambiguous black image. It's literally pathetic. And with that situation in mind, I'll transition into my next point about the narrative that MLS women are upset that we're no longer the center of attention. I saw a couple posts floating around TikTok saying light skins are mad that dark skin and brown skin women are now getting more attention. I saw this particularly when there was like an influx of white men making pandering content to go viral on TikTok. And the irony in that statement was just like, wow, they don't even know when they do the shit. Just like there was an opportunity to correctively promote an unambiguous up-and-coming actress and unambiguous author, they decided to hone in on Amandla Stenberg's light skin and heritage. They just love to make us the girls of the hour. It's like they can't help themselves. Just based on those TikToks, they don't even know how to accept attention without mentioning us. We can be over in our corner, getting attention as usual, because we're going to get it no matter what, and they'll start to also get attention, and they'll be wondering if we're in our corner tracking how much attention they get as well. No, boo. There's enough attention to go around. EU did a video a while ago on an unambiguous lady who married a geriatric Brad. And based on the TikTok that she showed, this lady is scrolling through her negative comments from her counterparts and skipping all of those to only read the comments from light-skinned women. Obsessed. Just so she can pretend that we're obsessed. Yeah, right. Like, her whole marriage is centered around feeling like she got one up on light-skinned women in her one-sided competition. It's like even when Cleopatra called herself Exposing Ice Spice, they couldn't even compliment Cleopatra without mentioning ice. On every single photo I've seen of a beautiful, unambiguous woman, or even a brown skin exotical, there's at least 2 "a light skin could never" comments. It's so weird. Doechii and SZA just got Grammys, and I'm not seeing enough hype about that. They're too focused on the fact that Beyonce is creating quote unquote Black history. Y'all see what I mean? We could never be upset about quote unquote not being the center of attention, because even if we're not the center, we're always getting some form of residual exotical tags. Someone is always ready to bring us back to the forefront. And then when they do refocus on us, they'll act like we forced them to, and somehow that's us oppressing them. And the fact that they think their abusive ass limerent attention is a prize is beyond me. But before I end this video, let me show this comment that was left on my video, I think, about why I only address Black women as a Black woman. So this person says, "We don't have privilege though. So how about y'all just delineate and be done if y'all got issues with dark-skinned women issues? Y'all want everybody to kiss y'all's ass. That's the problem with light-skinned women. Dark-skinned women are bullied, beaten, disrespected while you're uplifted, and you want us to smile and be okay. No more. And you can argue with your mama. Sick of y'all and your one-sided truth." So I just politely informed her that multiple truths exist and that MLS women can and do experience being bullied, beaten, and disrespected as well. And she says, "Well, at least you're uplifted." Okay, well, a lot of miserable motherfuckers work overtime to make sure they cast their misery onto us in various, usually passive-aggressive ways. But that's not even the part I want to focus on. The part that got me was, quote unquote, "Y'all want everybody to kiss y'all's ass." Skip forward. "Y'all want us to smile and be okay." Okay with what? Like, yes, I think you should be okay with the fact that people can exist and love themselves in their lives, even if you choose not to for various reasons. This is what I mean when I say they act like they don't make a deliberate choice to uplift us and make us the center of attention. They get so resentful that they also enjoy pedestalizing us, that they think that we're using our quote unquote light skin powers to oppress them. I mean, I know I'm magnetic as fuck, but damn, calm down. Just because men pedestalize a certain group of people doesn't mean that unambiguous Black women have to. Exoticals can't control who someone else is attracted to. I'm not sure if I dropped this video yet, but if I did. But this is what I mean when I say we're punished for enjoying / taking advantage of the pedestals they create. And maybe that's why they don't like the exotical space. They said acknowledge your pedestals. I guess they didn't also want us to say that we enjoy them, or at least we enjoy using them to get other privileges and tell them other people how to build their own pedestals. They want us to be like, "No, no, please don't uplift me." Like, that's crazy. Who the fuck don't like being uplifted? She said we uplifted, like we control that, and like we're gonna reject being uplifted. Who the fuck? Nobody rejects that shit. Come on. This comment seems to be hinting at that sidekick syndrome, is what I'll call it, that some of them talk about when they speak on befriending MLS women. I refuse to believe that we're all out here just bitches who force them into lower social positions when in proximity to us. I treat everyone around me equal. So what, other than their internal desire to pedestalize you, is giving them that notion? There's a difference between kissing ass and simply not deliberately antagonizing exoticals internally or externally. Especially considering that historically, exoticals have tried to bond with unambiguous women. Remember, we were in the BWE space gaslighting ourselves before we were over here, right? And now we're over here so they can have an exclusive space, and they're still proving we have their attention. And that, my friends, is why MLS women never have to worry about not being the center of attention. They're always going to want to know who you fucking, what you wearing, what you doing, how you doing, etc., etc. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. If you like the video, pretty please hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.